She has lost her entire family and now wants revenge on the Lannisters. So, what is Olenna Tyrell's plan for Season 7? Hi everyone, this is Robert. Welcome to In Deep Geek. Particularly if you're a first-time viewer, please do consider subscribing if you enjoy the video. Olenna Tyrell is one of the most effective and entertaining players of the Game of Thrones. We're going to look at what drives her, how she operates, and what this means she will likely do in Season 7. Olenna Redwine, as she was born, had a strong, independent mind from an early age. The TV show has taken liberties with her backstory in the books, but in both accounts she was single-minded in deciding who she would marry, not wishing to simply go along with whoever her parents had in mind. In the show, she set her heart on Luther Tyrell, despite the fact that her parents had decided that her sister should marry him. So the night before Luther was due to propose to her sister, she snuck into his room and seduced him. She left him, in her words, unable to walk down the stairs the next morning to propose to her sister. A woman to be reckoned with indeed. Since her husband's death some 20 years or more ago, she has acted as de facto ruler of the Reach. Mace, her son, may have had the title, but she held the power. Incidentally, there is every indication that Mace is actually far from the blundering fool that he appears to be. He manages to become Master of Coin and Master of Sales under Joffrey and then Tommen, and perhaps most tellingly, when the Iron Bank calls in the Iron Throne's debts, he apparently manages to secure a stay of execution. He acts the fool, but there are hints in the books at least that this is at least partly an act to make people think he isn't a threat. This is, I suspect, a trick he learned from his mother, who, though never hiding her intelligence, in the books clearly makes efforts to appear more frail than she truly is, using a walking stick and occasionally feigning illness. We first meet Olenna Tyrell in Season 3. She has relocated herself from Highgarden to King's Landing, presumably to help secure the Tyrell's position in the New World Order. She suspects, probably rightly, that she couldn't trust her husband Mace or son Loras to maximise their advantages, and Margaery is still young in the game. Olenna spends much of her time in King's Landing in tete-a-tetes with those most deeply entwined in court politics, Tywin, Tyrion, Varys and Littlefinger, gaining their measure, whilst mentoring her granddaughter in the arts of manipulation. Although one of her plans, to marry Loras to Sansa, is foiled by a combination of Tywin and Littlefinger, her attention is soon drawn to a more pressing danger to the well-being of her family, Joffrey. This time she teams up with Littlefinger to murder Joffrey, and then set up Margaery for marriage to Tommen, a match she thinks is much more likely to be a positive one for Margaery personally, and for the Tyrell family's fortune more broadly. This shows Olenna's twin concerns perfectly: her family's name and the well-being of those she loves. This is in stark contrast to Tywin Lannister, who, although equally clever and ruthless in his pursuit of family honour, shows none of Olenna's love for her family, a fact that only hastens his own end. Thinking her job done, Olenna returns home, but she is soon called back by Margaery when an even greater threat arises: the Faith Militant led by the High Sparrow, who have arrested Loras for his homosexuality. Olenna, it should probably go without saying, could care less about who Loras sleeps with, and when she realises that it is Cersei who is behind this, it starts a deep animosity between the two of them. Cersei got her information about Loras from Littlefinger, so Olenna confronts him too, threatening to reveal his part in the plot to kill Joffrey. It is then that Littlefinger gives her another crucial bit of information: that Cersei had an affair with Lancel Lannister, her cousin. In the short run, this allowed Olenna to pass on the information to the Faith Militant, resulting in Cersei's arrest and subsequent walk of shame. In the long run, I think it will have even more important implications. Olenna battles on with the High Sparrow and Cersei for a while before returning back to Highgarden, thinking Margaery is in control, playing the faith militant at their own game and helping Tommen stand up against his mother. But she underestimates Cersei's horrific cruelty. Whether Olenna could have prevented the atrocity by staying is open to question, but the result is the same: tragedy for House Tyrell. So, what is the future for Olenna Tyrell? As she says to Ellaria Sand, Cersei stole the future from me. She killed my son. She killed my grandson. She killed my granddaughter. Survival is not what I'm after now. Ellaria, sensing Olenna's mood, instead offers her vengeance and justice. Olenna's end goal now is for revenge on Cersei. She's already started on this, by throwing in her lot with Daenerys, sending the Reach fleet to assist in the invasion and, no doubt, the army too. She has probably helped tip the balance to ensure the eventual overthrow of Cersei's rule. But I don't think that will be enough for Olenna. For her, this is personal, and the knowledge that Cersei is no longer queen will not suffice. She won't sit back passively and wait for someone else to exact revenge. She will want to do it herself. Cersei destroyed everything and everyone Olenna loved. I think Olenna will want to do exactly the same back to Cersei. Of course, Cersei has already lost her children, one of whom died by Olenna's own hand. In fact, there is only one person left on the planet that Cersei could be considered to love: Jaime. Remember what Cersei said about him? We are more than brother and sister. We came into this world together, we belong together. We are one person in two bodies. If Olenna wants to hurt Cersei, really hurt her, she must go through Jaime. Nothing and no one else matters to her now. And the way to hurt Cersei the most would be for Jaime to turn his back on her, to tell her that he doesn't love her. And conveniently, Olenna has the information she needs to turn Jaime's heart. She knows that Cersei cheated on him with Lancel Lannister. If Jaime doesn't know this, and there is no reason to think that he does, this will break him. We have already seen, I think, the beginning of the end for Cersei and Jaime's relationship with this look, as Jaime realises what Cersei is now capable of. And in the books, his relationship with Cersei has deteriorated much further. So I think we can see Season 7 panning out like this for Olenna. She knows that Cersei will now come for her, the only remaining Tyrell and the one she fears the most. Cersei will send a Lannister army out with Jaime, the only man she trusts at its head, to Highgarden. Olenna has already committed her navy and perhaps some of her army to help Dany, and Highgarden, though beautiful, was built more for pleasure than defence against a siege. The Lannister army will almost certainly prevail. Jaime, as a man of honour, will agree to a final audience with the Queen of Thorns. She will have to die, of course. Cersei will have demanded it. But maybe Jaime will allow her the honour of a dignified suicide rather than a bloodied sword. It is then that Olenna could reveal the two secrets that will break Jaime. That she killed his son Joffrey, and that Cersei cheated on him with Lancel. Olenna wouldn't even need to live to know that her revenge was complete. The truth about Cersei would fester within Jaime until he next saw her, his love for her dying. And if he discovered she was on the verge of another atrocity, what would he do? I think he would kill her, as a last act, showing the end of his love for her and protecting innocence from her cruelty. And Olenna Tyrell's revenge would be complete. Cersei would be dead, betrayed and killed by the only person she loved because of something that she told Jaime. What do you think? What do you think Olenna's plan will be in Season 7? What do you think her fate is? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you want to see more like this one, please click on the subscribe button. And if you want to support the channel in other ways, please check out my Patreon page. Thanks again. That's all for this time. I'll see you again soon.